Hey guys, it's me Torminator again. I'm gonna watch a recording that I played earlier today. That was the first game of the day, and I didn't even have breakfast yet. So, let's jump right in. And it was a ranked match between 1700s. I was slightly higher rated than ptee, who's going to be my opponent. And we played it on difficulty setting hardest. I still haven't figured out yet whether it actually does something to the wolves in multiplayer as well or only in single player. So let's see how it goes. So I'm playing as the Burmese and my opponent is playing as the Italians. So he immediately sees he has two trapped sheep, so he is off to a bad start. But I think things get quite equal rather soon. And he can find his other sheep rather fast. Okay, and apart from this, my map is a lot more open. I have one wood over here, I have one wood over there, but it's quite far away, and it's not an easy wall. I might be able to wall this, wall that, but then I needed to wall this as well. So I would have to wall out quite far, and that's really draining on your economy. So, and this side is so open, it's really hard to wall it off. And here's my main gold, main stone. So that was a rather open map for me. His map was a tiny bit better, I think, because he could easily wall this and place his buildings probably around this hill, and still his main gold is bad as well. Front main gold, I have a back main gold, but it's totally open on this side. So I actually lost a vill to a villager over here, which put me back a lot. And let's see whether I'm actually behind the villager. Yeah, I'm behind two villagers already because he didn't get loom, and I thought I needed loom because my lumber camp was so far away from my TC. I thought if there was another wolf like almost slightly in range of aggro, he would just kill another villager as well. So I went for the safe approach, was down two villagers right away, and this hurt me a lot. Let's see. So he's taking his sweet time to get his resources, and I think this should be it for the Dark Age. Nothing else happening here, and yeah, he got housed as well. Let's see. I really want to know. Oh, come on. Okay, now clicked. 22 pop, he is at 23 pop. So I caught up one villager. No, I did not, because he did loom. So, okay, so I'm still one villager behind, but I'm not two villagers behind. But he delayed loom, so he had a lot more working villager time. I would go for. Still, he's really slow on his feudal age time. So I wasn't actually thinking he would go scouts because he was even slower than I was, and I was already delayed because I went up on 23 pop and him as well, but I lost a villager. So I'll be in feudal sooner. So he must have had some more idle time. I don't know. Okay, so he's going for scouts as well, although he's moving really soon to gold. I don't really understand this move. You usually don't want to go to gold until you see you can win or lose the scout fight, and if you lose the scout fight, you need to either go for more walls or fast castle or spearman defense, and spears get countered by archers, and against archers you would want to go skirms, and then you don't need the gold. So this might not be the most optimal play by him. And my scouts are rallying around this corner. I felt a bit bad for going scouts because I was so late, and I thought, well, it'll be so easy for him to just throw in a couple of spears and delay me even more. But the fact that he went for scouts as well was quite good for me. So I went only one spearman to scare away his scout from my wood line because I didn't know what exactly he's going for. Got two villagers over here, so now I'm one in the lead. And now I fail so badly. This is so bad. You see this? I could have saved this villager so easily, but I didn't. And here I passed by earlier and I didn't attack because I sent my scouts to go like here or something. I hadn't scouted that before. And then they went all the way around. And then as I went back, he was already walled and had spears there, so that was GG. He actually parked his scouts underneath my TC. I quick walled this off to not let him in. He still got in, and he's going. He had his scouts set on no attack stance, so that's rather unfortunate. I mean, it means that they only attack the villagers he asks them to, but it probably could. And yeah, my gather points were off this game as well. I had so many idols because I didn't. Pay more attention to the gather points. He had a nice, I don't know whether it's actually close or not. It looks like there might be a gap here. I don't know. Okay, I had my 3 idle scouts here. They could have done more, so I end up sending them to scout. Since I had not a lot of vision of the map yet. As Burmese do start with seeing all the relics, but initially you see this scouting pattern here. I thought he might be down here because there was no relic here, but he was actually up here. So it kind of doesn't really give away where the opponent is, unlike the Vietnamese who see the starting TC immediately. So I'm getting close to click up to Castle Age. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, my opponent is already halfway to Castle Age. I mean, he did less scouts, I feel. Or maybe he did exactly the same amount of scouts, but he had more eco to start with, and he went up later, so I don't know. Maybe that explains something. He has a lot of gold income. I think his gold was floating early on, because he didn't spend any gold until Castle Age. I think that was maybe not the wisest choice of him. It's pretty inefficient to spend villager time on gathering when you don't actually produce units that cost gold. My archers here, they took out 1 spear, and that's pretty much it. Although I do manage to get a snipe in the wood on a farm or something like that, and he could have easily cleaned that up. And you see, he already got some upgrades on his knights. And my knights are currently on the same level. But I went for 2 stables and 1 TC. And he went for 2 TCs and 1 stable. But he added his second rather soon. So I started with 2 TCs, with 2 stables, and he went up to 2 stables once he reached Castle Age. This is a bad fight for me, but yeah. I think I might have an advantage because I went 2 stables, but he was on 2 stables as well. I saw that, and then I moved back. Yeah, another really exposed wood line. Not a lot of spears. Not here, not here. I was really raidable because of my map. And in hindsight, I should have walled here and gotten on stone a little bit earlier. I could have protected my eco so much better if I went for more forward-ish walls. Yeah, like here and there. This would have been a problematic wall, but these would have certainly been possible. You see, I put a lot of emphasis on creating my military structures around my gold, because I had 2 secondary golds in the front. Went for monks because usually I thought I was behind in knights a lot more than I was. Taking really bad fights here actually proved that right. Losing 2 knights more or less for free, and yeah. Scaring him away though, even though he had the numbers advantage here. If you see the wreck and you think, well, we're actually quite similar on our upgrades, it's or on our numbers, it's actually because I have more scouts than he does, and he has the upgrade advantage on me. He had for quite a long time. First he had +2 sooner than I had, and then he had +1 attack sooner than I had. And so this is like the super important fight, trying to get anything, like every single knight is so important in here. I had no production at this moment because I forgot queuing up and losing my monk and kind of just barely able to win that fight. That was really close. And yeah, and keeping this point before the hill was really super duper important to me because after this hill was only my open eco. And you see this, what I said about the villager gather points? Yeah, totally off this game. Not enough food eco. Well, not enough food eco for 2 TCs. I did queue up villagers. I did not queue up more knights. I could have probably done a lot better job if I had actually queued enough knights. Like, put more emphasis on queuing knights than just trying to get more monks out and stuff. I saw I had a lot of gold, so I went for more monks. And since I lost my monastery in the front, that was actually quite nice. You see, monks are so OP because they heal your knight whilst you are doing damage to his. So should actually kill this ram here. I don't. Oh, now I do. Okay. So you see my idle scouts around here. I could have probably scouted his base, see how that he was on his 30C. I was on my 30C, but I think he put on his 30C sooner. Let's compare pop here. So I'm at pop 72, and he's at pop 78. He is currently on 14 military with 3 spears, not doing anything, and 9 knights. And I am on 9 knights and 2 monks. So overall, it's pretty stalematey right now, because if he runs in, I convert him. If I run in, I lose my knights, and I'm totally open. And now, you see, we have the same upgrades. So it's actually a lot more even than it was before. His knights are all full HP, mine get healed up to full HP, so it's rather similar as well. What he did later on that was a lot better was that he started raiding me and get some really nice fights in there as well. So let's have another look. Everybody's now he's mixing in scout cavalry, light cavalry to deal with my monks, and I think that's a good idea because he already had the upgrades for them. Although I would have loved to see him go for monks as well. Of course, my monks are stronger, but I lacked all the upgrades, and I didn't really have the gold yet to get them because I kind of trapped my forward golds here in between my buildings. I mean, it saved them from getting towered or pushed into, but I couldn't take them either. And that was a problem for me. I started taking some relics to get my gold up. And it's a nice bonus for the Burmese to actually know the exact relic positions. I knew this relic position and I knew this relic position as well, but I didn't get them. Yep, good stuff. Okay, let's speed up things a bit. You see, we're just like, yeah, camping it out. Nobody eager to attack yet. Yeah. Let's see. You see, he didn't have any upgrades on his spears. And now I have the upgrade advantage. I have the upgrade advantage. He is running in to kill my monks. I get 1 conversion. And all my monks are gone. So 1 conversion, and I could have easily gotten 4 if I actually managed to do my micro correct. That was unfortunate. Still had, I think, somewhere a monk around here. Yeah, I had 1 monk down here and another monk, I think, on his way with a relic or something. Yeah. So now it's numbers 2 to 16 and 21 plus 2 mangonels versus me. And let's see, am I actually producing units? No. Now I'm currently not producing units yet. I am going to, as I see this fight is super duper close, but I have the upgrade advantage. Let's keep that in mind and let's see how the fight actually proceeds. getting ready to click imp, and actually do click imp, but also create more knights. And I have a third stable down here now. And you see how much difference that did? I had another scout in there, but he's not going to make a big difference. See this fight? It was like equal until I got the upgrade advantage. And then he had more military with some light calves in there as well. But numbers are not that important if not all units have the same stats. Like, the light cavalry didn't do anything for him. He could have just run in with only knights and killed the 5 monks, and he would have fared a lot better. Because he would have had 5 knights extra, and that actually might have turned this tide. Because as soon as he wins this fight, let's have a look, he can harass this wood, he can go in here, kill villagers here. There's nothing in this whole area that protects my my eco as soon as I lose my military. You see, he's floating a lot of wood, and I think if he had put down more farms earlier on, he would have probably reached Imperial at the same time or even sooner than I did. He was on 3 TCs, I was on 3 TCs, but let's compare the numbers here. So he's on 9, 82 villagers, right? And I'm on a lot less, 71 villagers only. So he has a better eco. That's usually the case if one decides to go Imperial first. But as you see here, I could have easily kept up villager production at this point. Wait. Oh, now it works out. Okay. I could have easily kept up villager production with these resources, right? So that was bad on me to actually have idle TCs here. Should have definitely kept up the production. So now it's getting stalemated again. He knows he lost the fight. I know I don't really want to push in yet because I want to get the tech advantage first. And let's see how he reacts to this. Getting more monks out because I figure he's going to go for more knights. I'm not as see, the scores are still quite close. I'm not as good a player that I recognize that my opponent has clicked up. I cannot pay the attention needed to the score to prove that. So let's see, what's my game plan? Okay, so now I'm Imperial, right? I want to go for Cavalier, right? So I'm still idling my stables. Now I click Cavalier and plate barding armor. So I hope that by this I can get a tech advantage and totally decimate his army. I still have the tech advantage because I have +2 and he only +1 still, but he's going for barracks. Now let's see. He doesn't have any upgrades for his spearmen, any defense upgrades. So that means they're so much more susceptible to knights or cavalier because they take even more damage. Now he's sending forward a raiding party, probably to see whether I'm going for anything in particular, although now he moves out with his whole army. He could have done that a lot sooner. Losing a lot of monks here. 2 monks down. Now, this one still has some faith. I should have definitely used him to get the conversion going, but you see I have a lot more tech advantage now. He got +2 probably just before he went into the fight, but now I have +2 defense more, and now Cavalier pops in. You see this castle race? He's going to overtake me with this speed. It's going to be so close. So I send some troops over here. I abandoned this fight, and yeah, now to stop this castle from going up. And I think this was important because he knew this would be a really important area for him because he could really keep me off of gold for a long time, and those golds were really harassable as well. So I actually managed to kill all his villagers. The castle is on 83%, so I still had more time. Didn't want to make it as close as humanly possible, because that would mean that he could just rush out with villagers and get it up anyways. He's still not up to Imp. And you see his resources, he has so many resources. So many resources. I think the only reason he did not click up yet was that he only was on a siege workshop. He didn't have his second Castle Age building. And that was definitely a huge mistake by him. So instead he went for the raiding approach, which was actually one of his best decisions this game. I still was a tiny bit behind in eco. You see, I have more military out and I have less pop, so we can safely assume that I'm at 82 villagers. Let's do the math. And oh, he actually, okay. Well, his pop is a lot higher because he went into pikes. I see he still doesn't have any upgrades on his pikes. And I think that's one of his biggest mistakes as well. Because without defense upgrades, these pikemen certainly don't pack a punch, especially against Cavalier. They do extra bonus damage, but it's not going to help them. Let's see. I think I'm already on +4/+4, yeah. So my Cavalier are pretty much fully upgraded, and I kind of deal with the raiding okay-ish. But yeah, I actually got Bracer as well to help myself against raiding, because he was in Castle Age, so he only had +2. And with Bodkin you can negate the +2, but with Bracer you actually do extra damage. Instead of converting these knights, I should have definitely gone for these knights, and then I might have actually been able to keep those 2 monks alive. So I actually ended up killing a lot of villagers as he rushed out again to kill the castle, and yeah, so that was a good victory for me. And you see this is my eco. This is really bad. I don't really get any resources in this time, and he can catch up and get to Imp as well. He just still didn't click up. I mean, he had all the resources, and if he really wants to go for a full castle push, he needs to have, like, I don't know, 5 siege workshops, 15 rams, fully upgraded pikes, fully upgraded knights, and go ham on me or something. But he did not spend all those resources, and this is a complete waste. He would have definitely caught me by the balls if he would have actually done that. Now I start putting up walls to defend at least this little part of my economy, because it was the one he harassed most. This gold was mined out, and this farming eco he actually ignored for most of the time. So that was good for me. He's still not clicking up. Does he have a mark? He doesn't even have a... Oh, wait. Yeah, he does not have a market. He does not have a market. Now he actually put up his second... You see this? It's almost 50 minutes. I have been in Imperia for such a long time. He's giving me so much time to breathe. He still doesn't have his upgrades for his pikes. I mean, the first upgrade doesn't even cost gold, so he doesn't have a reason not to do that. He's not much on gold anymore either. So he could have gone for a lot more stone, get more castles out, and protect himself better from a push. I mean, I had to trebuchet here, so I was getting ready to push. But all this raiding delayed me a lot, and I wanted to get my eco safe first, take the safe approach to actually be able to sustain a push and not be all in. Like, I lose my army, I'm dead. And I've seen that he went for pikes. A lot of pikes. So at some point, like in the next couple of minutes, I decide, well, wouldn't it be great if I just sent all my idols out to the front and built extra military production? I had a lot of wood and a lot of food, so I thought, well, maybe scorpions. No, wait. The Burmese, they have such good infantry. And that was actually the first time I remember that the Burmese have good infantry. And that's a shame on me for actually not thinking about that sooner. Because versus these pikemen without upgrades, Burmese champions, or Burmese longswords even, are super cost efficient. I mean, they have in Imperial they have +3 attack. And I already had all of the attack upgrades anyway, so they started at +7. That's really nice. And so I started getting my upgrades here. Should get up even more upgrades. Yeah. So now I know I'm going to out-tech him. Because before he reaches Imperial, gets Chemistry, gets hand Cannoneers out, which I can deal rather well with my Cavalier, I have teched into anyways. And if he wants to additionally go for Halbs, I didn't actually know that I didn't know that the Italians don't get Halbs. But I thought maybe he wanted to go for Halbs, so yeah. I would have definitely gotten out champions, and a lot of them a lot sooner as well. I mean, I had a lot of food eco. I had enough gold to spam a lot of champions. So I was going to go for a lot of champions. And I also had a market. And I'm not sure whether Pete had a market now. Now he has a market. Okay. So now he can trade for resources as well. Sell all this excess food and wood. And not only create a lot of trash. And still, he does not have his upgrades. I mean, you see where I'm coming from. So now I tech into champions. And he's not even getting his defense upgrades on his pikes. I probably could not take this fight now because he has a Cavalier himself, although I do have the upgrade advantage. But versus the pikes, I think I could actually take the fight, only the pikes, with my Cavalier. But for the pikes, I designed to get champions. So that's... Now he's not... Like, as soon as he went up to Imperial, he was in the same position as I was. Get upgrades first, take fight later. So you see, I've got a significant point score advantage. And let's see what his scouting actually was like. Yeah, his scouting was really bad. He found this gold rather, well, like a couple of minutes ago, and then just sent some troops in here. He saw this part of my eco, he saw this eco, and he didn't even scout the TC here. So he sent lots of knights in here, cavalier in here, and there, and there. So he was trying to go for the attrition approach. So let's see how two-handed swordsmen with Burmese super upgrades or super bonus fare versus cavalier. And see, in small numbers, they deal really efficiently. Of course, I'm getting a champion as well soon. But those pikes are, like, they're not going to do anything versus these champions. I mean, I also have +4 now. The only thing that's keeping him afloat right now is that he still has army and that he's raiding me. But as soon as this raid is gone, is over, I actually overchopped here, so this eco wasn't safe at all. So that was another big blunder by myself. This isn't even close. And now I can move out with my cavalry because all the pikes are dead. And just take the fight with the rest of my cavalier and start pushing into his eco. I actually do a lot of misclicks with my trebuchet before I actually deploy them. But yeah, I lost a lot of eco here. I lost some eco here, but he did not harass this eco, and he did not... Well, I have put up a castle now, so it's not as bad as it was before, but he still could have killed a couple of villains here and there. So, and at this point, it's pretty much over, because I have a lot of champions out, and there's nothing he can do against that. Those champions will wreck anything he can quickly tech into, and I think he does not have chemistry, right? Where do I see that? He did not even have fletching. Well, if I had gone for some raiding with my cavalier instead of waiting for the champions to clear that out, like send all my cavalier in here and just go set them to aggressive, I could have probably killed all his eco before they were dead. Like, seriously, you need to get your upgrades for your town centers and castles. Otherwise, they do no damage to these cavaliers. Let's see. So this does 5 damage, right? And he has 6 pierce armor. 6 pierce armor. So it's 1 damage per arrow. Let's say you have 15 villagers in here. I think that's like 5 arrows or something. 5 arrows or I don't know. Well, let's see. I have 8 arrows. Oh no, actually it should be more. Let's check. Let's check. So I have 15 in here. So it's 8 arrows. So it says 8 damage per volley. 8 damage to a cavalier. That's going to take a long time to actually get him down to 0. And that's only one cavalier. If I have 25 cavalier in here with 2 TCs, this is just... there's nothing he can do. So, I should have definitely gone for the raiding. And now he calls it GG, because he sees his army can't really kill my eco completely, and even if he kills my eco, I have such a great army advantage here, he could not keep that up. Okay, let's check the achievements, and there you're going to see how effective his raiding and how bad my macro was with my villager gather points. I had the score advantage in every department, but well, let's take economy first. I had less food, I had less wood, I had a little bit more stone, and I had like the same amount of gold. So all of these less than he had. And he had less villagers than I did, even at my peak where I was not raided that much. So I think that can show you that I was definitely a lot of idle. I had a lot of idle time in Castle Age and even before then. And so that was one of the reasons why this game was so really close. And you see, I took better fights, and especially in the end, like my champions, they tipped the scale a lot. I think before it was I had a bit better advantage, but in the end, yeah, 9 conversions, 9 knights. Let's say 9 knights, maybe one like cavalry, I don't know, but 9 knights. That's a lot of resources, and I think I did like 9 monks and 9 monks and converting 9 knights. That's definitely worth it. Yeah. The up times, I was faster even though I have lost a villager and I went for an earlier loom. He was at 1 minute faster to Castle Age because he went for less. I don't know why he was so much faster to Castle Age, but I think he went for a scout less and he didn't get fletching, and probably fletching was the reason why I was up slower than he was. Because I did fletching for my 5 ranged units, which was definitely stupid as well. And I was a lot sooner. Like, this is 10 minutes, and 10 minutes sooner imp time actually, unless you have a super high advantage as Castle Age player, you're going to die. Because you're constantly taking fights, if you're taking fights, that are bad for you, and if you're not taking fights, you're leaving, like in this game, your opponent so much time to get attack advantage on you in every aspect. The relic gold certainly helped. And yeah. GG. That was my commentary on this recording. And well, I'll be back soon.